Acts chapter 24. Paul's trial before Felix. 5 days later, Ananias the high priest arrived in Caesarea, accompanied by some Jewish elders and Tertullus, their prosecuting attorney. They were brought before the governor to present formal charges against Paul. After Paul was summoned, Tertullus accused him, saying, "Your Excellency Felix, under the shadow of your wise leadership, we Jews have experienced a long period of peace. Because of your wise foresight, many reforms are coming to pass in our nation because of you, most honorable Felix. We deeply appreciate this and thank you very much. So that I won't weary you with a lengthy presentation, I beg you to hear our brief summary with your customary graciousness. For we have found this man to be a contagious plague, a seditious man who continually stirs up riots among the Jews all over the world. He has become a ringleader of the sect known as the Nazarenes. He has even attempted to desecrate our temple, which is why we had him arrested. We sought to judge him according to our law, but Commander Lysias came with great force and snatched him away from our hands and sent him here to you. He has ordered his accusers to come to you so that you could interrogate him and ascertain for yourself that all these charges we are bringing against him are true." All the Jews present joined in the verbal attack, saying, "Yes, it's true." Paul's defense before Felix. The governor motioned that it was Paul's turn to speak, so he began to answer the accusations. "Because I know that you have been a judge over this nation for many years, I gladly respond in my defense. You can easily verify that about 12 days ago, I went to Jerusalem to worship. No one found me arguing with anyone or causing trouble among the people in the synagogues or in the temple or anywhere in the city. They are completely unable to prove these accusations they make against me. But I do confess this to you. I worship the God of our Jewish ancestors as a follower of the way which they call a sect. For I believe everything that is written in the law and the prophets, and my hope is in God, the same hope that even my accusers have embraced, the hope of a resurrection from the dead of both the righteous and the unrighteous. That's why I seek with all my heart to have a clean conscience toward God and towards others. After being away from Jerusalem for several years, I returned to bring to my people gifts for the poor. I was in the temple, ritually purified and presenting my offering to God, when they seized me. I had no noisy crowd around me, and I wasn't causing trouble or making any kind of disturbance whatsoever. It was a group of Jews from western Turkey who were being unruly. They are the ones who should be here now to bring their charges if they have anything against me. Or at least these men standing before you should clearly state what crime they found me guilty of when I stood before the Jewish Supreme Council, unless it's the one thing I passionately spoke out when I stood among them. I am on trial today only because of my belief in the resurrection of the dead." Felix, who was well acquainted with the facts about the way, concluded the hearing with these words, "I will decide your case after Commander Lysias arrives." He then ordered the captain to keep Paul in protective custody, but to give him a measure of freedom, he allowed any of his friends to visit him and help take care of his needs. Paul speaks to Felix in Jerusalem. Several days later, Felix came back with his wife, Drusilla, who was Jewish. They sent for Paul and listened as he shared with them about faith in Jesus, the Anointed One. As Paul spoke about true righteousness, self-control, and the coming judgment, Felix became terrified and said, "Leave me for now. I'll send for you later when it's more convenient." He expected to receive a bribe from Paul for his release, so for that reason he would send for Paul from time to time to converse with him. 2 years later, Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus. Before he left office, he decided to leave Paul in prison as a political favor to the Jews.